Hey guys, Breakthrough Health and Life Coach Glenn Hattem here. I'm here with my relationship coach, Lisa Marini.
No.
And we just had a pretty amazing conversation today. We were talking about one's armor when it comes to relationships, all kinds of relationships, but how we can make those healthy requests when getting into relationship with others, and having that. Where does that come from? Where's that clarity with ourselves as far as what our individual needs are, and how do we it's, for some of us, it can be hard to articulate that, as well as figure out where are we actually trying to get to in that relationship. So there is an intention that can be brought about to navigate that relationship in a healthy way. Maybe Lisa, you could share a little bit about a couple of the tidbits that came out of today's call. So.
Yeah, Glenn, it's really great to hear you talk. You remind me a lot of myself, in the sense of, I've got this really tough side to me, and I also have this really soft, tender side of me. And it's really hard to sort of balance those two in relationship. You want to be open, you want to be vulnerable, you want to just lay your heart on the table and share everything. Yet there's stuff in the past that has us be really protective, and then we can become really fierce and really, having that armor that you're talking about around us. And so, one of the things we're discussing is sort of how to integrate those two polarities, those two sides. How can you have loving boundaries? How can you still be gentle and caring and loving, and yet still speak your needs? And so there's an exploration of communicating with your partner in a way that still fulfills your needs, to still make sure your needs are met without being that aggressive, forceful side. Trust me, I've been there. But to still have your needs met, so you don't become the doormat or feel like somebody's walking all over you.
Yeah, and it's definitely, you have that, at least for me in this process, it's conceptually, intellectually, it makes sense. And then getting that into an embodiment, with yourself, taking that awareness with this, is just requires a lot of practice, a lot of, as we've done some kind of role playing and dialogue of here's what I've experienced in the past. And this is, trying to identify, I think when we got on the call today, it was like identifying these key patterns that are kind of like broken record playing over itself, and we're getting some benefits from those reoccurring patterns that we kind of cycle into. So sometimes it's hard to break free of things that we get benefits from. Maybe speak a little bit to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can fall into patterns very easily. It just becomes familiar. And so when we choose partners, when we continue to have repetitive patterns, a lot of it comes from just programming, right? It's something that comes from our childhood. We're reliving things. And so the awareness of this is key. And what I would say about the loving boundaries and falling into patterns is to really spend time every night sort of taking an assessment, sitting down with your journal, or just being in thought of, where are my needs not being met right now, and what needs to happen to have my needs met. And it may be a request from your partner. Maybe you've self-abandoned. Maybe you've done something where you're selling out or you're not honoring your own needs. But it's really doing that daily assessment of, hey, where am I feeling? How am I feeling right now? Where am I at? And am I falling into these old patterns and behaviors? What's going on? So it's really checking in. Having a relationship with yourself is really critically important when we're having a relationship with someone else.
Great. Thank you for the share, Lisa. And today was really special, edgy a little bit, because I had to pull some stuff up even a little deeper than we went last time. And we're in week 6 of my 90-day Amplify Your Life program. And it's starting to get to where the clarity of what needs attention. And then, as we kind of talked today, the next week, it's really stepping into those awarenesses. And this is where the grind is, where the hard work needs to be put in of repatterning and changing some old stories, and that commitment is really required, because even though you can have this great intention, when it comes to doing the work and actually shifting things internally, so you can shift things in your world externally, everything comes up, everything gets a little bit of a rub. It's sticky. It's not just okay, got it, done. Like, that doesn't exist. It's kind of like, okay, next step, next piece,
Yeah.
here's a couple other things you might not have thought about that also are part of that. It doesn't mean you can't move forward at an accelerated fashion with awarenesses of things, but there's always still work to be done.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of learning and unlearning.
A lot of unlearning. Yeah. Well, thank you for today. I'm looking forward to our next session next week and everybody chiming in as well for that. But thank you for today. I really appreciate you. So,
Thank you. Take care.
all right. Have a good day.
You too.